Welcome to Opening Presents. My name is Aaron Robinson. Thank you so much for joining me. Ah, man, the spiritual journey is something that has many stages. There's that point where we finally commit to ourselves for the first time ever. And it's a revelation, yes, but a lot of the times it has a lot of confrontation. It asks a lot of us to see parts of ourselves that are frankly uncomfortable to look at. And we start this journey sometimes with meditation, observing our past and our patterns and our traumas and our relationships. A lot of our upbringing, we see a lot of it carried into adulthood. We start experimenting with practices like breath work, or we journey into the land of psychedelics. Everybody has their own unique path, and there is no right or wrong way to go about it. The point is that we finally commit to ourselves and that we stay with it for the long haul. Like we're supposed to do this until we are no longer, of peeling back the layers and seeing what is our programming. What do we do unconsciously that in an instance it protected you at a certain point, but then it becomes not so helpful when we're running into the same issues over and over and over again. So the beauty of the practice, however that looks, is that we see ourselves from a different light and a different perspective and start to build a new version of ourselves. All of this is for transformation. We're not meant to stay the same, we're meant to evolve. So, something I wanted to talk about today is discovering our own medicine. What does that mean? Well, it means since we are so different, we're going to be gravitating towards different things. I think the beginning of the practice is a lot of guessing and checking. It's like, does breath work or does communal healing work? Does massage work? Like, you have to kind of run through a lot of different things to figure out like what lights you on fire. And there is a point where it just becomes fun knowing the things that light you up and that give you so much. So that was something that I wanted to kind of bring to you today, is discovering like what that medicine is, because the practice of engaging in this manner, it's like we're healing ourselves, and it's not all serious all the time. There are processes that we engage with that are forcing us to confront the shadow, which nobody truly likes, but the freedom that comes on the other side of accepting those parts of ourselves, like there's a lot of benefit from it. But then there are instances of great flow and allowance and acceptance and love, and seeing parts of ourselves that were suppressed for a long time. For me, I grew up being like the most shy person in the world. Like I was deathly afraid of expressing my voice and sharing my insights, even if I thought I was right or I knew I was right. I was always deferring to more charismatic, more handsome uh, kids. I guess, like as a kid, like I would always just kind of be like, oh, well, since they're quick to speak and have so much confidence, like who am I to say that I have an answer to any of uh, the comings and goings of adolescence. So I've grew up suppressing my voice and holding back, and I noticed that pattern still today. Um, but since I started this podcast in 2020, 2021 ish, uh, I get to find my own medicine uh, and heal that part of myself that was so willing to shut up and not share, and create my own channels for expression and for sharing my truth. This is creating my own medicine, healing the part of myself that didn't feel worthy to be heard. So that's what I mean, is each of us has our own bio individuality, our own story, our own relating to our own suppression And how do we transmute that and create our own medicine? So this is one of the avenues that I am able to heal the inner child, the part of myself that felt like it didn't have anything to say or that my ideas were wrong. That's something that I still deal with, not to the same extent of being completely paralyzed, uh, but there is a deep reservoir of information, of insight that needs a place to exist. And finding those channels for us is the part of the spiritual practice that um, I find particularly fun because we get to explore and allow new energies to flow. Another instance of discovering and finding my own medicine is through music and dance. Over the last year or so, I've been taking up every single opportunity I can to move my body. And that's how I know that I'm in alignment, is that my instinct is to move and to liberate these kind of mentally dominated spaces of feeling like I have to create something of value, or I have to create a successful business, or I have to show up in any particular way. If I tune into the presence or the rhythm and allow myself to just flow, I know that that is my nature. So anything that comes on the other side of that, whether that's creating a successful business or value for someone else, it has to be through that channel. Like if this isn't present, then I'm completely off balance and I'm not going to provide any value for that end goal in the first place. Like everything is inherently jinxed if I don't listen to my body, listen to uh, my own processing, and allowing myself to step into those places of resident resonance and authenticity and expression. So find your own medicine. Sometimes that looks like breath work. Like I said before, that was a gateway towards more expansion for myself, and it trickled into uh, other areas, an embodiment of taking up more space, of being more relaxed around being seen, um, allowing music to inspire and to drive connection, to drive creativity, to drive acceptance and allowance. So, what is your medicine? What have you explored? Are you a writer? Are you a photographer? Are you a musician? Are you meant to draw a comic book? When we allow ourselves to explore, we find healing in allowing ourselves to take on these new aspects that are at times just laying dormant in our lives. I remember quite recently seeing a friend of mine play the flute, and I was like, "Oh, damn, that looks so dope." Like this getting his Andre 3000 on, like, "Oh, damn, like these sounds are so uh primal and primordial." Um and I was intrigued. I was like, "Okay, like I'm open to trying new things." I mean, I've healed this part of myself that is self-judgmental, so that part is more or less dormant, um, and seeing that there's a through line to any outcome, a lot of the times the outcome is just trying. Like, I'm a hands-on learner, like, I have to do the thing in order to, uh understand if it's something that I like or I don't like. Things can exist in awareness or just consciousness, and you can run through the exercise of like, oh yeah, like I think dance is a good thing, but that's just a concept in your brain. How quickly can we get into embodied experience? So, not wanting to be a spectator and just observing my friend play the flute, I asked him, like, where did he get his flute and, like, how long has he been playing for? Like, it sounds so beautiful, like and he told me that somebody in town, uh, made the flute for him and that he has his own wood shop, so it allowed me to go on this, mission to discover, like, all right, like they're actually available. Like it's not something that I necessarily have to go on Amazon or watch a bunch of YouTube videos. It's like there's an actual person that I can learn from. So long story short, I met my buddy Ben, who owns Cascadia Instruments in Portland, Oregon, and I went to his place and saw all the flutes that he's created. Self-taught uh, musician and maker of Native American flutes, all types of flutes. Um, and he showed me his collection and just the basics. And I came to him with an idea of wanting a drone flute, and he was able to make one for me. And it's been a healing journey of tapping into music. I would have never thought that I would be playing music. That's what I mean about finding your own medicine, like being curious and saying like, "Hey, I'm willing to try these new things," and you never know like what you're going to gravitate towards. This old concept of self is dying and withering away. Yes, there are parts of us that we kind of bring into the light and polish off, and they become our new uh, healed version. But then there's places, things, practices, experiences, modalities that we're uncovering in real time as we heal parts of ourselves and step into this new reality. So that's the part of this spiritual practice that I am uh, excited about, because there's always something around the corner that illuminates and enlightens a part of ourselves that just feels right. And when we trust what we feel, we can just accept and allow and express. Like, who would have known the quiet kid in the corner that was like wetting the bed until 11, 12 years old would be dancing, would be speaking, would be leading in this type of way. So yeah, I'd love to play for you guys if you don't mind. Um, but yeah, this has been a part of my healing journey is discovering new things, allowing myself to try, uh, to gravitate, to inspire. So yeah, without further ado, this is my drone flute in the key of C. Thanks for letting me share that with you. It's all put together. Everything feeds into the next. My meditation practice feeds into my morning pages, feeds into the grounding, feeds into the voyage to get spring water, feeds into lifting weights, feeds into my relationships. Everything is connected. The more healthy, self-loving practices that we can integrate into our lives, the more that we understand the magic that exists in every single moment of presence, of not getting too ahead of ourselves, allowing this momentum of goodness, of coherence, of positivity. We're taking the long route intentionally. Intentionally, we're saying, hey, there is no quick fix. That does not exist. It's about integrating these expanded states of pushing ourselves to those depths, bringing back the lessons and integrating it into our daily lives. And then where can we start to engage in these spaces that are in between, that are pushing ourselves but aren't necessarily off the deep end, that require a lot more energy? What are these intermediate daily or rituals that we can kind of bite off a chunk and experience that? Whether that's playing the flute, whether that's just turning on some music that we like and freeing up the energy, those moments of mindfulness, of expression, of fun. We all have that opportunity. This alchemical process is ongoing and accessible at all times. So my encouragement for you is to discover your medicine. After we're into our practice of meditation, our curiosity is piqued. We're beginning to heal parts of ourselves that needed attention, watering the plant, stepping out of rigidity of a limited self. Where can we start exploring? What are the things that we've been more or less afraid of? Being seen, being heard. Maybe you're supposed to start a podcast. Maybe you can turn on your camera phone and just get used to talking and not feeling pressure that you have to share it. It's just for you, just to get that rep in. And then eventually building up to the place where you share it. Just engage with the process. How much we can uncover within ourselves. We just say yes. I'm tired of the old shit. I'm ready for something new. You deserve it. It's time to say yes. My name is Aaron Robinson, and thank you all for listening to Opening Presence.